Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Facebook Live session. My name is Barrett. I'm the host this evening with Curfit Live, and this evening we are interviewing Miss Tara Henry with Author and Arts. How are you doing this evening?
Hi, I'm doing absolutely better.
Awesome. So I guess we'll just get right into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So how did you get started with your art studio here?
It's a twofold, very complicated layer question, but because it all depends on what phase we're talking about. So I actually started the business that I wasn't starting out of my home. I did it for a year with doing paint parties and things like that, but it kept growing and evolving. Even though I was like, I'm not going to do it, it got to the point where I was like, you need to get out of your house and give your house back to your family. So then everything just came together. The space was available. It's right around the corner from my home because I'm also a mother, so I had to consider, my family life with this new venture. So I didn't want to go too far, and everything was just perfect. So yeah, it was all about once I got it started.
So what got you started in art? What was your inspiration behind it?
That is so funny too, because most people think it's about the art, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not about the art. It really isn't. This all started because I wanted to spend more quality time with my actual girlfriends. Because we would try to do that. If it wasn't at my house, it was at my other girlfriend's house. We would just get together and pretend to have events. We would do like the cheese and wine and the crackers at the house just so we can have an excuse to have a girl time. Yeah, and then one of them was like, hey, I think you can do this paint party thing, because they saw that I was painting for myself. And so that's how that started. But it wasn't about the art. It was just about the mom with that. Yeah.
Awesome. So, yeah, that's amazing.
I know. Most people really think it's about the art, but it isn't. Even being in the studio, it's because I like doing things like this, getting together with other entrepreneurs, small businesses, giving people a reason to just kind of sit down and take a break from the daily grind. And the art just happens to be a conduit for how most of that happens. And we're not already connected, but once we're connected, people just pop in all the time. Yeah.
Awesome. So, so what I guess along your path towards developing your art studio, like what steps did you take? Was anything like predetermined, that it just kind of happened, not so natural for you to get from where you started to where you are?
So, look, I'm telling you, everything. I don't mean to laugh, but everything is funny because nothing is textbook. Like absolutely nothing. Like when I have conversations with other business mentors and people, nothing that I did followed what you're advised to do.
Mm-hmm.
This was really I'm a major leaper. So it really just was like boom, boom, boom. There wasn't really steps. It just was organically happening.
Okay.
Like I said, I started with the painting for me. Then my friends were like, you should try this. And I was like, no. And then I tried it and I was like, oh my God, that was great. And so that started developing. And then my business mind, because I was in retail management for over 20 years. In all different levels of management. So my business mind wouldn't turn off. It's like, okay, what can we do to make this even better or more fancy or more special for my artist? Because I call everybody my artist. Once you paint with me, you're my artist. So I started pulling in other businesses. Like I found out one of my guests sold jewelry. And I was like, hey, bring it. I was like, we're going to have a great artist event. Bring it to my house. I got a table. And once I did that, I was like, oh, okay, now next party. Who's coming and what do they do? And that just started snowballing. One February, I was like, ooh, it would be so cool to do something like romantic. Like, I wonder if I can get somebody to come like sing to us. And I did. I found a local artist who was actually needed to test some of his new material because he was coming out with a new album. And he was just willing to do it. And I was like, this is out of my house. So what would happen if I actually had a commercial space? Like, this is crazy. So there was nothing that was written down. There was nothing that was planned for, even when the space became available. This is not bank funded. This is not investors. This is community supported. So the community doesn't show up, it don't happen. But I just told my clients at the time, my artists, my friends, hey, I got a space. I need to come up with the money. I need y'all to throw parties. And they got busy throwing parties. And then that's how the money came.
That was my next question. Or like what resources you tapped into for your commercial space?
Our relationships. My absolute relationships that I had been building, which I didn't even know how, that wasn't the purpose at the time. We were just having fun, like I said, but relationships really is what got the job done because they were invested, they were cheering me on the whole time. And so when it came time to really, put in the work, they put in the work. And that just makes, it makes you think you can kind of do anything when you really have the support of people, and people go, and it's not even that they say you shouldn't rely on your friends and family to support your business, but it all depends what kind of business it is. Mm-hmm. If it's one that is focused on community, guess what you need? You need community. You need people. So that is how this started.
Awesome. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do what you and your friends put your minds together.
Friends, and you know what's funny? And it's not even just friends. And that was what the shocker was. It was people who didn't even know me for any kind of length of time. They were just really proud and impressed that it was something that I wanted to do. And they saw the value in it, and they got the feeling. They were like, yeah, people need this. So, they were willing to help, and that was great.
Yeah, so your support started with your friends, and you just branched out from there to get to the community. Give more people to the parties.
Absolutely.
And in the beginning, all your parties were just
for a whole year. A year exactly. That's what, when I look at the roadmap to this thing that I did not create, it's funny how everything just was like tick-tock, tick-tock. So I had started out of my house in June. It was a double birthday party for our friends. It was the first art session that I did. It was just for us 4 people. And that was June 1st. A year later, I opened up this place June 1st. So June 1st this year, we get 3 years.
Nice.
Coincidence.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like I said, I didn't even know this was back here until today. So I'm definitely going to see what I can do.
Thank you. That's the struggle. Because I'm back here in the cut. It's a very intimate spot, which is also what makes it such a jewel, because it is not downtown in the crowd and the parking. It has its own parking space. It's intimate. Every party in here if it's a private party, it's a private party. Not another party next door. Mm-hmm. Got people trooping through your party. It's a private spot, so.
Not people out here fighting with parking space.
Nope.
Trying to be downtown.
Nope. You don't have to hike 3 blocks to get to the front door.
Right.
Awesome.
That's going to be a nice thing, too.
Awesome.
You don't have to worry about, I'm pretty sure all the costs of being in a great location.
Yeah.
Versus being in a more rural, intimate setting.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because if you go either way, it's crazy. Like, real estate prices are crazy. When I say I looked up on this one,
So how did you come across this place?
Dude, it's so funny. I wasn't supposed to be looking, first of all. But I just was on there and I was like, let me see what commercial spaces are available. I just kept listening. When they say get still, you hear things? Mm-hmm. I kept hearing things, and people who understand the connection to this universe as a whole, but also people who are spiritual and all that. I don't know how many, because I don't even think you can really measure it by percentage, but some of us really just tap into this thing. When you just really get still and listen, you hear it. It's undeniable what you're supposed to be doing. So it kept happening to me. And I just learned to go with the flow.
There you go.
I just learned to listen.
Stop fighting.
I don't even fight it. To this day, I don't even fight it. I'm like, okay, what are we doing now? Oh, okay, that's what we're doing. So we do it.
Awesome. So, Jessa, how do you measure your business successes over the years? I'm pretty sure you have a lot of ups and downs, trials and tribulations.
Yeah. That's a good question, because it changes. I mean, and there's different barometers that you use and that kind of a thing. Of course, the fact that it's still here is a testament to itself. It is a struggle, because brick and mortar business is not the same as other businesses. So it's a whole different ballgame. But really, the fact that it has survived, it does have a growing support system. The people who are really in it are really in it. We do a lot of things together for the community. I'm involved with several organizations, one being Love is a Parable, I'm actually Master Certified Love Advocate. And before that, I was a corporate advocate. So, our thing is unity and kindness and random acts of kindness, and just it fits with what I do through the art. So that is a win when I can connect and collaborate with such fantastic people in the community, and we actually touch so many. And it's so simple. I mean, we don't do anything that's over the top convoluted, takes all this money. It has to be in like a big venue. But we managed to touch actual people. And the fact that we can do that is a win for me, because that is what keeps me going. Even on days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, okay, here come these bills. Here come these bills. Where am I coming from? And then somebody will walk through my door and they get emotional. And they're like, this is what I needed. And I'm like, okay, you can't go nowhere because that's who you're here for. I'll have an event and I have people to walk through the door just to go to my tranquil table, which we can talk about that in a little bit. But they'll just give me like, I'm just going over there. And the fact that they need that and they know this is a place they can come just to be at peace is a win for me.
Nice. Awesome. So what kind of events do you do here?
So besides the paint parties that are all popular and the rage, I do them actually differently as well. But I do the paint parties. I do different creative events. Like I have belly dancing that I do with April Lamar. She is a certified instructor. So we have a lot of fun with the ladies. That's a growing thing. I have a collaboration now with Azaria Verdon. She used to be the Southeast Raleigh Japanese teacher. So we incorporate the culture and different learning into a paint party. So it takes it beyond just your normal, rah-rah fun type of thing. It's educational. I love doing things that are educational, cultural for the community. So I do any kind of collaboration really with small businesses. I do branding events to help them get their name out there. A lot of people are just starting in business and they don't have resources.
Right. So,
this is a valuable resource for people to get in front of the public, at a low cost. We make it exciting. We do all different kind of things. It's called Authors in Art, actually, because I did do book signings out of my home. So I like to collaborate with authors. We have so many local authors. I had no idea until I started digging. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even need to go to other cities. They're just all right here. So doing the book signing, getting real authors with talent right in front of people, right in your backyard.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry
You got
about
questions?
that. I think so. My iPad is acting up a little bit, trying to. Okay, I think that was just a false alarm. So
that's okay.
So you mentioned your tranquil table. You want to?
So yes, the tranquil table. So beyond just the artwork, when I say I even do that differently, the paint sessions, it's really not about playing in the paint. I say that. So on my signage, I use that a lot in my verbiage. It's not just about playing in the paint because there's a process. And I witness people going through the process, something else would happen. Even in the middle of a big party where it's supposed to be all excitement, everybody would calm down, kind of get quiet. They focus on what they were doing. And something personal started happening. So I intentionally tried to create moments that people can do that. Get personal with themselves. It's not about being happy. People will say, okay, have fun. No, if you're upset or depressed or sad or confused, creativity helps all of that. Just having a moment to sit down helps all of that. So the tranquil table is basically a big adult sensory table. I like to say it's for the adults because kids have enough playtime. It's the adults who don't spend enough time sitting down playing. I like to use organic things. So we're talking, I use stone rocks, sticks. There's a sand bowl up there. There's wood. Very much into things that are tactile and that are natural because nature is a key for all of this healing. So yeah, I actually carry things like this so people can actually get the same feeling or have similar experiences in their personal living spaces or even in the office. I'm not going to play for you now, but I'm just saying, even these frogs, I carry these frogs. It's a simple thing, but it actually allows you time to calm down and focus. And some people who are really wound up, when they first do it, it annoys them. And they're like, oh no, I can't take that noise. They need it the most. Because you're just so used to your brain just, the fact that you have to stop for a minute, calm down, and focus on this noise. It makes a difference. So I like to do a lot of things like that. And I couple with experts who are more into the holistic, metaphysical, Reiki masters, all of them. They'll tell you the technical stuff. I just like to play and I like to get the benefits of play. We don't use technical terms. My trademark slogan is it's a party, not a class. Because that expectation already is causing too much stress. My biggest term in here is sushi. They're like, well, just sushi. Just put the pan on the candle. Stop thinking so much. So that is what I do different. I don't want you striving for perfection because I'm not striving for perfection. I'm not putting that pressure on myself. I'm not putting that pressure on you. So we just come, we relax. And that is what the tranquil table does. Sand play. There's several different activities I get people to do to just calm down. And then they realize, oh my goodness, I didn't know I need that. And once somebody gives you that opportunity, you realize you deserve that. So hopefully they'll keep coming back and realizing that you need that. But first you have to experience it, because I can tell you about it all day, but until you experience it, you do not understand the benefit of it.
Right. That is awesome. Now, if someone wants to do a large party, do you travel, or to say someone wants to do something in their own?
I do. So, not to. Okay, so we elevate in our businesses. Okay, so I have kind of gone past doing the parties and homes, only because I really try to focus on the experience. So you can't. Every situation is not conducive to that process. We're just like crammed into a space, and the party time turn up. Great. But what I do is a little different. So I like it to be make sure there's enough room. You got room to breathe. Like I was telling you, I can see up to 30 if I had to. I like to do 24 because it gives you more room, to breathe and create. You're not crammed in like a sardine kind of a situation. But I do organizations and businesses because usually they have more space that I can set up properly. So team building events, all that kind of stuff. So I've traveled. I've gone to Charleston, South Carolina for Sister Summit. I've done different corporate events around here. I just was at UNC TV for the second time for their corporate event. So I will travel within reason, but I have a studio where everything's perfect. All the colors of the paint are here because I don't take all the paint. If I'm traveling, we limit it because that's a lot. And I always end up taking like half the studio. I'm like, okay, you got to stop. Because I'm trying to give you the exact experience. So if I could take a plant, I'm even taking a plant. It's just like I want you to feel exactly what you hear. Stop cheating yourself.
Awesome. So another question for you. So what do you think some of your biggest obstacles have been along the way? And which obstacles do you think you would attribute to them occurring due to your racial background, being black?
So you might have to pull me back into this question because I'll be like, what was we talking about? Because there's different lanes that have been affected by that. So my biggest surface challenge is people just knowing I'm here, of course, because it is in the cut. It's in Southeast Raleigh. But I always tell them if they can find the amphitheater up the street, if the acre break your heart, her and she, whoever else is down there, you drive right past me. So don't tell me don't come this way. It's just a matter of knowing I'm over here. That is the challenge. So I really like to get with a lot of local publications and try to take advantage of their marketing strategies and things like that and get myself in publications and take advantage of things like this, supporting Curfit and stuff like that, because it's very important that I'm actually reaching people that are around me. So I'm not into numbers. Like I don't need 1,000 friends on Facebook that are in Texas. Right. Texas don't help me. So I really try to make it personal. I try to build the relationships. I try to connect with people who actually can touch. Because otherwise, it's a disservice to both of us just to be numbers, and they really don't know the benefits that are here. So my location's a challenge, but it's a great location. And once they walk through the door, they get it. It's like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, because you probably were looking at the zip code and letting it deter you, which happens. And it's really sad because I've had, tying into being a woman in business also, a Black woman in particular in business. It's really disheartening to know that professional the Black women have not come here because of the zip code. So that stuff gets back to me. So I'm like, wow, really, sis? Like, really?
Yeah.
And then I do have, as my brother Jay would say, the lighter hue people who are also afraid for the same reason. I'm like, what? Do you think it's like bulletproof alley over here? Like, what is the problem?
Right.
But I do have some that show up, and they really are like, no, we have to make a difference. Be the change. We're going to show that we got to support this, and it's not any different from being anywhere else. So I have to fight against that stigma all the time. And people are always suggesting, well, location, maybe you should go. No, because this is the community I'm trying to serve, and if we get past the excuses, there's no reason not to support it. So my challenge is I'm trying to fight through that. It's like, okay, and to be honest, it is hard. And some days I'm like, why am I fighting to do this for people who are like, they don't appreciate it. But then that person will come through the door, like I said, that needs it. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting the fight. And being a woman, there's very few men that I've collaborated with or been able to do anything with for an extended period of time. That's a whole nother kind of interview. I don't know what it is with my brothers. Yeah, we might have to, because that is, and I'm finding it's a reoccurring theme, which is another interesting thing. I'm learning more about the mindset of certain demographics who combine it with business. Joy Never Terrible. Jada Wayne Garnett also has brother empowerment. So he does that every Thursday. And so having conversations, open conversations, some of the things are it's just communication. It's just, stereotypes, stigmas. It's certain damage that never was dealt with. I'm not giving up on my brothers. I know we can do some things together. Oh, no. I know we can do some things together, but I just end up usually working with more women because we just got a different kind of hustle on. So I don't know if it's just percentages. We come across each other more, But that's a challenge, is just really getting our community to understand that every last person makes a difference. Because somebody always thinks I'm talking to the next person. I'm like, no, I'm talking to you. I need you to come in here. I need you to be part of this. No, I want to talk to you about your business, what we can do. And I do things so differently. Sometimes I have to fight through the damage that was caused by other collaborations and other relationships, because people are real predatory and I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. And people want you to, devalue yourself at every turn. Especially being a Black business, which we talk about. That does not mean discounted. It does not mean inferior. It doesn't mean any of those things. But first, you gotta learn. You gotta teach them that, and it's like, oh my goodness, like every time, gotta keep going through this cycle. But it's worthwhile, because when you do get through to those people, we do beautiful things together. So those are the challenges.
Well, not awesome for the challenges, but
you gotta have some people that are willing to fight through it. Yeah.
So speaking of learning experiences, next question. What are some of the mistakes you made along the way, and what exactly were some of the biggest lessons you learned along the way?
The biggest lesson early on was I had a month. I like to tell other business people this story all the time. I had one particular month that on social media, this place was jumping. I mean, my collaborations were hot. We were having creative events, night events. Facebook was lit. Pictures. And the month was getting toward the end, and I was like, well, where's the money? Because Tara kept wanting to help everybody. And I was like, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll just see what happens at the end of the night. We'll split this or split that. Or, okay, well, we didn't make enough money. I'll just keep the lights. I mean, I was bartering. I'm not in a position to barter. So at the end of the month, and I had other businesses coming in and other creatives. I was displaying their stuff. And then I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, your focus is you want to help other businesses, but first you have really got to survive. You can't help anybody if this goes away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Help others if you're not helping
You
yourself.
can't help that whole thing with put the air mask on your face first before you try to put the air mask on anybody else. I looked at the end of that month and I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. So I was calling people like, hey, I need you to come get your merchandise out the studio. I was like, because I didn't see me. I was like, what happened? This is supposed to be like my thing. I don't even see me. It don't feel like me anymore, because I was trying to do so much with so many people, which is a great thing to want to do. But if you're not in a position to do that, you can crash everything. So that was the hardest lesson, was you have to know what your mission is, stay true to your mission. You pull in things that support that don't take away from that, because it's all going to go in if you do that. And yeah, so that was a tough one. So I learned real quick how to say, this is not the way to go. This is not the move. No, I already thought about that idea. Not with my mission. Some things really will get the money in, but it's also going to totally shift what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to be the turn up spot. I really am trying to be the turn down spot. You know what I'm saying? So no. So I do have people, like, the whole trap and paint thing is huge. I do have what I call my trap club group, because they requested it, so they have it privately. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where you'll see Authors and Art trap party, openly like that, because that's not me. But when it's about the art, and if it's just about the mood, yeah, I can shift to that. It's not distracting. It's okay. Some people wanted to do new pay parties. I'm like, see, y'all trying to make my husband shut this whole thing down. We not doing that. Yeah, it's great. I know I could probably charge double, but y'all trying to get a sister calls down. You know what I'm saying? So some things really have to be more than just about the business. It's really about the mission. So that is a hard lesson to learn because, of course, a lot of problems would be solved if you took the easy road. But it's not about the easy road. So at the end of the day, was that what I wanted? Was that the point? People tell you all the time, business isn't about you. And I beg to differ. But then again, I'm just different, period. So I think my business is very much about me. Because that at the end of the day, that's actually what people appreciate.
Then it's like, you want to make money, but at what cost?
Yeah. And just, I'm at the age now, people never know how old I am. Like, they think I'm like this young whippersnapper. Thank you. But I'm all the way grown. I got children, I got husband, I got things going on. And I just can't, if I started this like 20 years ago, it might have been it would have been a whole different thing. But I'm older now. I always say sometimes I'm too old for the blessings I'm going to get. But it just makes me, I don't know. It's just a different focus for me. And I want to get to the value of the thing and the value of my community and the value of individuals and not make it about a turnstile. Just come in, drop your dollars and leave. It's like, no, I want you to realize that you needed this and to come back because you needed it and you wanted it,
Awesome. So, earlier in the conversation, you mentioned you worked with several collaborations and other people in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You mind delving into that a little bit as far as like what collaborations you've done, what organizations you've worked with, and what's been your favorite collaboration so far?
So let me not jump into my favorite yet, because I actually have two really, really important collaborations that are ongoing and we built together. But everyone has been important because there's been a lot of people actually that I've helped that I never see them again. And that's okay. Like you have to get to that point like, okay, yes, you call it a launch pad if you want to, which is great because that's part of the mission. Like even when I collaborate with some people, I'm like, okay, you're going to outgrow this. And they're like, no. I'm like, but you should. It's like, this is a small intimate spot. And if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I know that you should go forth and do the things that you're supposed to do. But then there's a different level of collaboration where our missions are so in line, we keep coming back and we keep building and growing from where we are. One such organization is Black Butterfly Wings, where Michael Jenkins Jr. and his wife Sabrina, they do holistic ministry and that kind of a thing. But Michael, also known as Triumphant, is one heck of a dynamic, brilliant wordsmith. So he does spoken word poetry. You can call him hip hop artist if you want to. He always comes up with these amazing songs and things like that. He's on BandLab and SoundCloud right now, but he's coming out with an album. So just that energy and that creativity, we are always making up stuff. We're always finding ways to support stuff. He can look at one of my art pieces, which he's done, and made original artwork to it within 24 hours. We call him Mr. 24 Hours. And he can do that for other people. But just that spirit and that energy is something that we just can't stop creating things. He made a couple poems, songs about your girl, which I absolutely love. And I feel so spoiled because he is such a talent. It's ridiculous. So that's a beautiful thing because I have a thing I call Peace and Paint, which is meant to be definitely come in. We're not talking a lot. It's like real meditative music going on. It's real peaceful. When I met them and found out what they do, it was natural to pull them into that because they hype it up. Like if there's a theme, Mike has a whole playlist. It's like, it just takes us around the world. It takes us to a different meditative state. He'll play the drums. He'll do some poetry sometimes. His wife will do some poetry. They bring healthy snacks and healthy food because they are very much into healthy food. So we're going to get some good stuff that day. But those kind of collaborations add a value that I could never pay for. You know what I'm saying? Just because we just naturally are growing together and we have the same focus. And the other one I was mentioning before was Love is a Parable. It's huge with me because I'm one of their advocates and heck, they're one of my advocates. I call it creative wellness is what I do. So actually this t-shirt, Be Free Repeat, is actually something that I want everyone to own because when you wear this to my Simply Create sessions, it gives you $5 off the sessions and those sessions are already $15. So we're talking $10 because I want people to get the benefits and be able to afford it and do it more often. And those are usually Monday and Wednesday nights. So creative wellness advocates. So they're always advocating for me when they can and my whole mission, because it's important. We like try to get the whole person. You know, we're talking about the spiritual. We're talking about the empowerment. We're talking about the creative wellness. We touch so many different things together that we could not do separately. So it just makes sense for us to collaborate as much as we can. And yeah, there's several other businesses that, you know, they come in, they come out with, you know, what they have going on. But those are my two main ones that I love because we just do so much.
So what kind of advice would you have for anybody wanting to step out and try their hand at doing their own thing? What would you tell that person that's kind of on the fence between, you know, working their full-time job, which might have them comfortable, but wants to also...
And you do both. But the main thing that I always tell people is this is your journey and no one can tell you how to do it at the end of the day. They cannot tell you how to do it. Some people tell you, no, quit your job and go full time. Okay, realistically, you still got bills to pay and this life ain't easy. And when you add a brick and mortar to the situation, you need to save up. Don't do what I did. You know, unless you got that message, unless, you know, the spirit world and the universe say, hey, this is what you're going to do and you got no choice, then you go ahead and do it because it's going to work out one way or the next. But if I'm actually from the lessons I learned, I would think, yeah, go ahead, save up a couple months, you know, whatever your lease is, your bill. Make sure that you know whatever it is, look at it realistically. Know that you have to have some tough skin. But for those that are leapers, I say leap. It's just, you just got to do it. Because you're never, it's almost like having a child. When I say, well, we'll have a child when we're ready. What does that even look like? I mean,
are you ever ready?
You're never ready because they're always changing on you. Something's always happening. You know, emergencies happen. Your idea of what it's supposed to look like is never that thing. So it's like until you just do it. I had a author and fellow artist one time come in, and she said she wanted me to be her creative mentor, and I started laughing. And I know she's like, I'm like, I'm being so serious. Like, what are you laughing at? I said, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna come to me and you're gonna say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this event. I want to do a book signing and I want to do the art thing and I want to blah, 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 you know, A to Z. And I'm just going to look at you after you've wasted all that breath and say, so do it. That's the kind of, I'm like, so do it. How we going to do it? How am I going to help you? We can succeed at it together. We can fail at it together. We're going to revamp it together. But there's no safety net because everybody wants this assurance and the safety net before they do things. And I'm like, you have to do it. Because one, it could be a blooming success. It could be a failure. I don't cancel events. I try not to. All depending on who I'm collaborating with. There's been like a handful of times I've ever canceled an event. And I have several events a week. I don't care if it's one person coming. That's my person. You know, they getting the whole full experience because they are worth it. But some people, they'll fold. It's like, okay, we didn't get the number we thought of, so we're just canceling. And I'm like, that's so like unfair to the person who was like, how are you supposed to build if you keep erasing the foundation? You know, the foundation, if it's brick by brick, boo, it's brick by brick. You know, all the bricks, they add up, but you can't keep scrapping people because that's what they don't realize. You're scrapping people. You're not just scrapping reservations and tickets. And that was a person, you know, that gave value to you. You have to give value to them. So yeah, I say leap. I say do, I say try, learn the lesson you gotta learn. People will come and go. The people you thought were your rocks, they was crumpled up gray paper. That was not a rock, it was a piece of paper. And it's okay because you learn from the paper, recycle that bad boy. But it's tough and it's hard and it is emotional, but you still have to do it or you're not going to learn. You know, they say, if you never do anything, nothing will ever happen to you. And the truth is, if you never do anything, nothing ever happens to you. So either way, good or bad, you have to do, or you're never going to get to where you're trying to go.
Okay. And on the flip side of that, what kind of advice would you give for people that want to do their own thing but feel like they don't have the business sense or the financial literacy to get out there and get something done?
So there's resources, there's books, there's people. You have to watch the people part because some credentials matter. Experience really matters because anybody can take a test and get a certification and now all of a sudden they're an expert. But do they have the experience? And what do their results look like? Because if we're both struggling, it's kind of hard for you to help me not be struggling. And we got a new focus. I love talking to Jay. It's like when people are asking, like, I don't need your advice. I need you to make a way. And that's what the shift needs to be. We need to start figuring out a way to make a way together. Like, I don't need you to keep talking to me and telling me, let's get something done. Because that's what people are not doing. They talk all day. I'm so burnt out from networking events and all of these things. They're great, especially the first couple times, depending on who you go to see and who you're talking to. But networking has to become an action. You can't just be talking and handing my business card and, oh, yeah, okay, now I know your name. Oh, okay, now I know your name. Well, what we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So exactly. And we can talk, but then let's get to the part where we're actually doing something. So I tell people all the time, it's like, no, when I talk to you, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do something. We're not just going to keep talking. We got to do. So, but there's also the city of Raleigh, or in multiple cities, wherever you are, always have like a business, small business resources that you can tap into. And they will actually, for free, most of the time, walk you through the process of what paperwork you need to fill out. People always think, and like Raleigh changed where you don't even need like a license for a lot of things. Registering your LLC, registering your DBAs, doing business as names. That's like the easy first step. Doesn't cost a lot. I think it was like $25. You know what I'm saying? Establishing your bank account. Yeah, you go into a bank and you talk to the people behind the desk and say, hello, I'm trying to start a business. You at least have to have your DBA. This is my DBA. I need to open a business account. Those are easy first steps. Do them. And for goodness sake, please, people. And I know a lot of people aren't. You need insurance, though, for a lot of things, especially if you're serving the public, the community. You have to make sure you're covered and they're covered. Mm-hmm. And I know that is something that really legitimizes your business, is having business insurance. There's different rates. There's different companies that can help you. But people keep skipping that step. And I'm seeing people that get inspired by other business people. And I'm thinking, y'all just looked at something and just ran with it. You don't realize the legalities of what you're doing. You probably don't have the proper paperwork. And someone can get hurt. So that is my biggest takeaway and advice to business people. Do the basics. File your sales and use tax. Some of these people are having all these events. Are you filing any of this? Because you can get yourself in trouble because people are vindictive and spiteful. At the end of the day, if you start shining too much, they're going to start picking at what you're doing. And you don't want to get in trouble based on stuff like that. It's real easy. Just file your daggone taxes. Get your insurance. List your business name. Real simple stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, please do that.
You got to crawl before you walk, right?
Yes. And make sure, and if you stumble and you get hurt, you need to be able to take care of that.
Exactly. Someone else comes in here and still gets hurt.
Exactly. And that's why, sometimes people thinking I'm being like real complicated, but I'm like, no, you can't do that. Like, I need to know if you're having an event, I need to know what you're doing. Like, no, there's a cap on how many people. No, you can't bring your extra lawn chairs in here. These are 800-pound Hercules chairs. I service my community all over. I ain't trying to fall out of this chair. I ain't trying anybody else fall out of this chair. I got people all the time. I'm like, boo, you're good. I'm like, that chair is a real chair. That's not one of my fake chairs. It's gonna fall apart on me. But and all of that stuff needs to be considered. When I'm dealing with children, I'm using the non-toxic paint. I'm not just using any old paint with the babies, okay? They put stuff in their mouth. Mm-hmm. So people really have to just stop thinking and start talking to people who are doing it. I see people jumping into getting brick and mortar businesses, and I'm like, ooh, I hope you talk to someone who actually has one. You didn't just see somebody doing it. She's doing it, I'm doing it. Boo, it's a struggle. It's hard. There's some things you got to consider. Just because they signed your lease didn't mean you was ready for it. Because they're just looking at the paper. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got my money down. Okay. Boom, here's your keys. And then, you know, a month later, you're like, oh my God. Because all the people that say, yeah, girl, get it. I got you. I'm coming. Woo. Boo. They don't always do that. That's even to the businesses because their name is not on the lease. That is a big takeaway for people with brick and mortar. Because we always think, okay, if we pull this person in that said they were going to help because they want a space to do their business, if they don't have instant results, they will disappear on you. You can't disappear. Your name's on that lease. And people don't realize you have to build up clientele. You have to build up your word of mouth. You have to build up support. So you can't be one and done. Oh, this didn't work. Let me go to the next person. And then that person's sitting there like, oh my God, she said she was going to be here every month, every week. No, boo, her name ain't on the lease. She don't got to come back.
Right.
So you have to be prepared for those type of things. And I shouldn't say prepared because you're never really prepared when it happens to you because you just know that's your rock. They're going to come. They're going to help me. On paper, I figured it out. I divided. I carried the one. This is easy. You know, mathematically, I should be rolling in the dough, mathematically speaking, because it's such a small amount of people that I need to participate to make this place great. And the fact it's a struggle is sad because I'm talking, it would take, I don't have the number rolling around right now in my head, but it is a minimum number of people that would need to show up for this place to like just be smooth sailing. Oh, that don't happen. So that's why I be looking like, why am I doing this again? What the why? Soul searching, looking at my babies, like, Mom, you leaving? My guy got a 5-year-old. He's like, you gotta go. And then I'll be sitting here sometime by myself going, why I leave my house? Mm-hmm. Why did I leave my house today? And then something fabulous will happen, or an event will happen, or some person will walk through the door, and I'm like, okay, that's why. And it's crazy because I'm just real sensitive and I'm an empath, and just that person will carry me for a long time. Like I'll remember that one person. Like, okay, that's why you're here. But there's a lot of sacrifice that goes to having your own business in these things, and people, they don't have to consider them, but definitely as a business owner, you have to consider them all the time. And you have to reevaluate constantly. Okay, is this working? Not working? Is it worth it anymore? Is it not worth it? You know, what else do I have to do? But the whole time you're doing that, you still have to stay true to your mission and your point, because you'll just be changing one bad thing for the next if you don't, have a source for it all. So, yeah. Okay.
So how do you incorporate today's technology into your business? Like, are you on social media? How can people get in contact with you?
I live on social media. People probably figure like, how in the world did you post so much on social media? But and honestly, Facebook has been a blessing in disguise. And the wonderful thing about that, you learn how to use social media to your benefit, and that can also some days crush you because you're like, nobody sees my post, nobody's liking my post, nobody's responding to my post. But then I'll get this weird reference where I've been tagged on something, and I'm like, who is this person? And I'll look, and they'll have recommended me. So you see me. People you don't even know see you. They do not have to like it. They don't have to love it. They don't have to share it. They see you. And that's a hard thing for people to learn. Stop thinking people aren't watching you. Stop thinking that only bad people are watching you. There's people who actually really support you. They don't got time for all this liking and whatever, but they still see you. So stay your course. Even on social media, keep your voice. I like to be transparent on there too. If I'm having like a really bad experience, especially if it seems to be a reoccurring thing, I'll do an occasional PSA. Luckily that I have lovers apparel in my life, so I've learned to woosah a little bit and do my own thing, and then add the lessons of love. Look at everything with a love lens. Tara, don't go berserk, but people need to know, because this is a learning moment for not just them and me, but I know there's other people going through this. So I like to be transparent on social media when it's relevant. And I try to be very conscious of what voice I have on there and who I'm attracting. So social media, Instagram a little bit, Twitter, I don't do it all because I can't. Me and Twitter don't get along. I don't know what it is. I just can't. It's just too many words, no pictures. I can't. I need pictures. I'm an artist. I need color. But something about Twitter but I'm going to learn it. But yeah, social media has been a big, gigantic help for me. Other technologies, I really am just simple. Everything is simple here. So I would love to try to find a way though to make something exciting with technology. I gotta talk to my techie friends, see what we can do about this.
You gotta get out there and use your resources, right?
Yeah. Look, I can hear them laughing now. but definitely use what you have, and especially if it's free, use it. Don't get mad at it. Use it. So definitely social media. I don't even know how you have a business and you're not on social media in this day and age. But I will say I'm looking forward to the day where I don't have to depend on it. I'm looking for the day where everybody in the community knows where I'm at, and I'm so busy with them, I don't even have time to check Facebook till I get ready to go to bed.
Hire someone for that.
No, see, I'm too personal. I can't. I got to talk to my people. That's not a problem. Everything is so personal. But it won't even matter because they'll be coming through the door like they're supposed to, and we'll be doing fabulous things. And it'll be great. And then I'll just be checking their pictures like, oh, look at the picture. And they remember to tag authors and art. Hashtag authors and art. You know how the pictures have that background and they never say where they are? That is such an easy form of marketing and help. That is the freest way. Your picture's already on there. Just tag authors and art. That's all I need you to do. But no, I just look at my picture and go, They ain't mentioned it one time. So it's a some for some it's a learning thing, some just spiteful, but that's okay. But hashtag authors and art. Thank you very much.
Remember that.
Hashtag authors and art.
So what's people get in contact with you and learn about you.
So the address actually is 3303 Rock Quarry Road, Suite 103, second building, not far from the amphitheater, Word of God, Redeemer Love Church, Southeast Raleigh High School. I mean, I got all these landmarks over here. So it's real easy to find me that way. My website is authors with an S and art.com. There's contact form on there. Please reach out with any questions, concerns. Authorsandart.com/reservations. If they get in the habit of checking that, you will see all the creative events that pop up for the public. Because we have an anniversary celebration coming up. May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd, that whole weekend is the 3rd year anniversary. So if they just kind of frequently check reservations, you will not miss so much. The social media algorithms and blah, blah, blah. People miss stuff. I realize that. So I'm trying to get them to just go there and catch so much more stuff. Belly dancing, Japanese club, all that stuff. The phone number here, 984-200-7559. And please leave me a voice message. I don't know this aversion people have to leave it a message. I'm like, what's that? I don't know you yet. Can you please leave me a message? It's okay. I'm going to check it. I'm going to do that. They're like, click. I'm like, who was that? I don't know, because my phone here will connect to other places. So I'm like, I'll get the missed call, and I'm like, I don't even know where it sourced from. Like, was that the studio? Was that my phone? So please leave me a message. Name, way to get in contact with you. It doesn't have to be a phone number. It can be your email address. I don't care. But let's just not connect. We need to connect. Okay? Communication, comprehension, and action. It's gonna get us done. So,
all right. Well, as we get things up here, anything else you want people to know?
Oh my goodness, what did we cover? I just want to know.
About so much today.
I know, and it really. I just want them to take home that I do things differently here. So even if you've been to a paint party before, you have not been to an Authors and Art paint party before. Because it really is a different experience. I mean, that's just not me saying it. That's the feedback that I get also, because I'm not standing in front of the room. We're not painting by follow me. I'm not rushing you because I'm trying to get you out the way because I have another party coming. Which is, it's not a turnstile like that. It's like, so it's very personal. So I want people to come experience it because like I said, I can tell you all day. But you're not going to get it. I want people to learn how to come to these things by themselves. You do not need a 6-woman crew with you to be brave. If you want to try belly dancing, then you come to belly dancing. We are here. It's going to be great. Find your tribe and your vibe. It's always different. No judgment zone. And you're in a safe space. You know what I'm saying? So come by yourself. Bring the boo. Men love to paint. Lord, men love to paint. I've had women bring their husbands across the parking lot blindfolded. They didn't tell them where they were going because they didn't want to hear it. Don't object. You haven't tried it yet. Get in there. Yeah, family events, kids. So because it is my spot, I make up these things. So I'm trying to get everyone to experience what I'm talking about. So
Awesome. Well, there you have it, everybody. Once again, my name is Bear. I'm here with Ms. Terry, and we'll discuss everything about opportunities. So, be sure to everybody time out and support, and keep this thing going. Y'all have a good evening.